Students, today we are going to learn about nutrition in living organism. So what is nutrition? The process of taking in and using food which takes place in living organism is called nutrition. So taking of food means you are eating foodstuffs. So what is the meaning of foodstuffs? Foodstuffs are the substance which are ingested, digested, and assimilated to give energy, help in growth and building health for our body. So, it is nutrition. There, what is the need for nutrition? So, need for nutrition is it helps to supply the energy required for doing work. Then it also requires for the growth, development of the body. Yes, then only you can grow if you have proper nutrition. Then to replace the damaged cells and repair the tissues. Also to fight against diseases. So, for this nutrition is required. Then there are two types of nutrition: autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. Some organisms can produce their own food and thus nourish themselves. This is called autotrophic nutrition. What is heterotrophic nutrition? Some organisms depend on other organisms, plants or animals for their food is called heterotrophic nutrition. So, these are the two type of nutrition. Then what is present in the nutrition? In nutrition, there are nutrients present. So nutrients are there. What are nutrients? Nutrients which are useful for necessary for the body, useful for the growth and to fight against disease and development of the body, they are called nutrients. So we get several type of nutrients from the foodstuffs. Nutrients can be classified into two types, namely macronutrients and micronutrients. Nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, see here, carbohydrates, proteins, fats. Carbohydrates and proteins, fats, these are called macronutrients. Minerals and vitamins are called micronutrients. They are micronutrients. Here we can see how do the plants prepare their food. You can see in the picture, below the ground roots are there, above the ground plant is there are leaves, there is flower. So how does it prepare the food? Plants also need food for their growth. They can produce their own food with the help of sunlight. You can see here, with the help of sunlight and chlorophyll. With the help of sunlight and chlorophyll in the leaves. Plants make their food in their leaves. How do they make? They use water and nutrients from the soil. What did they do? They get nutrients, water and nutrients from the soil and carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, that is air. This process is called photosynthesis. Now we are going to see the next picture, that is chloroplast in leaf. So what do you see in the picture? Plants convert light energy into chemical energy and store it in the form of food. Water, minerals and salts are absorbed by roots from the soil. The stem transports them up to the leaves. Here stem transports them up to the leaves. The leaves have microscopic openings called stomata, through which, see here, microscopic openings are there. These are called stomata. Okay. Then, which they take in carbon dioxide from the air. From the air, they take carbon dioxide. The chloroplasts present in the leaves contain chlorophyll, which absorbs sunlight, helping to convert carbon dioxide and water into food. Oxygen is given out in this process. Besides leaves, photosynthesis takes place in some other plants like green stem. You can see here like green stems too. They contain chlorophyll. Now we will go to the next picture, that is transport system in plants. So how is the transport system in plants? In the picture you can see the xylem and phloem. So the transport system of plants consists of xylem and the phloem. The xylem transports minerals and water from the root to all aerial parts of the plant. You can see here blue arrows are there. How the xylem can transport the system minerals and water from the roots to the aerial parts of the plant. Aerial parts means which are present above the ground. And the phloem transports the food from the leaves to other parts of the plant. It transports the food from the leaves to other parts of the plant, where it is either consumed or stored. So it is either consumed or it can be stored into the roots. Then, though the plants have transport system, they do not have a separate digestive or excretory system. Now we'll go to the next picture. So what can you see here? The roots of we'll see how the plants produce carbohydrates by the process of photosynthesis. Here we are going to learn about how plants produce the carbohydrates by the process of photosynthesis. Carbohydrates are made from carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Proteins are made from carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. With what proteins are made? From carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. So here we can see how the nitrogen is necessary for synthesizing proteins. Okay. So roots of leguminous plants. Here in the picture you can see roots of leguminous plants. So how it occurs? What happens? Air contains gaseous nitrogen. However, plants cannot utilize gaseous nitrogen. It needs to be fixed, that is converted into compounds. Fixation of nitrogen occurs by biological and atmospheric methods. So here you can see the biological method and atmospheric fixation of nitrogen. Two different types of microorganisms can bring about biological nitrogen fixation. Root nodules of leguminous plants contain the rhizobium microorganism. These microorganisms absorb atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into its nitrate, a compound. Microorganisms like Azotobacter are present in soil. They also convert atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates. Now, atmospheric nitrogen. Atmospheric fixation of nitrogen. How does it occur? Lightning occur in a rainy season. This causes atmospheric nitrogen and oxygen to react with each other to form nitric oxide, NO, which is again oxidized to form nitrogen dioxide, NO2. The nitrogen dioxide dissolves in rainwater and is converted into nitric acid, HNO3, which gets added to the soil along with the rainwater. Plants use this nitrogen for their growth. So, atmospheric fixation of nitrogen and biological fixation of nitrogen is very important for the plants. Here we are going to learn now about symbiotic nutrition, lichen. So, it is a plant lichen. So, in some cases, two or more than two different plants. Here you can see two different plants live together to fulfill their needs of nutrition, protection, support, with each other's help. This type of nutrition is called symbiotic nutrition. Some fungi grow around the roots of some other plants. Here is a lichen plant. You can see here below this fungi grow around the roots of some other. Here the fungus can be grown. These plants supply nutrients to the fungi, and in turn fungi supply minerals to water to the plants. Some fungi and algae live together. The fungi provides water, minerals as well as shelter to algae. In return, the algae provide food to the fungi. Lichen is an example of symbiosis between algae and fungi. Here we are going to see about the heterotrophic plants. See in the picture you can see Loranthus plant. So, how does it look? The plants that grow on the body of other plants. Here, the plant that grows on the body of other plant. To obtain food are called as parasitic plants. For example, Loranthus, Cuscuta, etc. Due to the absence of chlorophyll, the Cuscuta is completely dependent on the host plant. Hence, it is said to be a completely parasitic plant. It is hence said to be a completely parasitic plant. Now, in the other picture you can see insectivorous plant, Drosera burmani. So, how is this plant? These insectivorous plants generally grow in soil. See this insectivorous plant. They grow in the soil or water deficient in nitrogen compounds. Where the nitrogen compounds are not available, they are deficient, so there these plants grow. But to fulfill the need of nitrogen, the plant body of the Drosera burmani has a flower-like appearance. It grows closely to the ground. Its leaves are attractively pink or red in color with hairs at the margin. You can see here the hairs are there. You can see here the hairs are there and droplets of a sticky substance. Here sticky substance, you can see the droplets of sticky substance is also there. So at the tips of the hairs, at these droplets attracts the insects. The scientist Johannes Burman identified this plant in Sri Lanka in 1737. So this plant is named after him. The one thing is there, this plant is insectivorous. It absorbs the insect, it consumes the insect. Why? To fulfill its nitrogen deficient. And then it can grow very easily. Here is another plant that is saprophytic. You can see here saprophytic plant. How does it look? It looks just like mushroom. Various types of fungi like mushrooms and yeast are saprophytes. Fungi secrete digestive enzymes on the dead remains to digest or break down the carbon compounds they contain. The resulting solution is absorbed to obtain nutrients. What is the result? Why? To absorb the nutrients. Now here we'll go to the next plant. We'll see here what is the, this is the table. You can see here deficiency, role of nutrients and effects of their deficiency in plants. So what is the role of nutrients? That is nitrogen is the nutrient. Its function is important components of proteins, chlorophyll and cytoplasm. Then effects of deficiency. If nitrogen deficiency is there, then retarded stunt growth, yellowing of leaves may occur. If phosphorus is there, then phosphorus function is conversion of light energy into chemical energy. If phosphorus is less, it is deficiency in that plant, then what will happen? Early leaf fall will happen. Then late flowering will be there. Slow growth of roots will be there. Then potassium, what will be there? If potassium is there in the plants, then it is necessary for metabolic activity. But if potassium is less deficiency, then weak stem, wilting of leaves, failure to produce carbohydrates. If magnesium is present, then production of chlorophyll will be proper. If magnesium is absent, then again slow and retarded growth and yellowing of leaves will happen. Then iron, if iron is there, then proper function of production of chlorophyll is present. If iron is absent, then again yellowing of leaves will be there. Manganese, if it is present, then production of main plant and hormones. Then if it is deficiency, if manganese is not there, then again retarded growth, spotted leaves. You can see spots on the leaves. So again it is not good. Then zinc. If zinc is present, then production of hormones and their intermediates, it is there proper. If zinc is absent, then again retarded growth and yellowing of leaves occur. So it is very necessary that all these nutrients should be present in the soil. Then, now we are going to learn about the animals. What are the steps of nutrition in animals? So, here you can see 5 steps are there. First is egestion. So, egestion means what? Egestion means food is taken into the body. Then, what is the meaning of digestion? Digestion means the conversion of food into simple soluble forms. Absorption, transfer of soluble food to the blood. Then assimilation. Assimilation is utilization of absorbed food by cells and tissues for energy production and growth and repair. Egestion. Egestion is what? Removal of the waste products and undigested food from the body. Now we'll go to the next page, that is types of nutrition in types of animals. So, how is the nutrition? How does the nutrition cause in the unicellular organism? We have studied that unicellular organism means one cell animal. The animal which has only one cell. So, here you can see its example is amoeba. So, amoeba does not have organs like hands and mouth. It is a unicellular animal. It can take in food through any part of the surface of its unicellular body. See, it can take food from any part of the body. It surrounds the food particle from all sides to take into the cell. You can see here amoeba, see here this food particle, it can take from any of the side, it is taking inside, then it covers the food particle from all the sides. You can see here how it has covered the full food particle and taken inside. So, after that, it digests the food with the help of different enzymes. Undigested food is left behind. As the amoeba moves further with the help of pseudopodia, in the unicellular animals like amoeba, euglena, paramecium, etc., all the steps of the nutrition occur within the cell. This is only one cell. All the steps of nutrition, digestive system, everything it occurs in one cell only. Then we'll see here there are different types of animals with different types of food type. They are having all different types of food types. In the next picture we can see according to the type of food animals can be classified. So here you can see the first one it is given, that is herbivores. So first one we saw, that is amoeba, we saw unicellular animal, we saw it is a holozoic nutrition. Type of nutritions in animals are 3, that is holozoic nutrition, and then it is saprozoic nutrition and parasitic nutrition. So we saw about holozoic nutrition, and now the same thing we are going to see here again, the type of food animals can be classified. Now herbivores. Herbivores means herbivores use plants directly as their food. They have plants. Example are grazing animals, those animals which are grazing. Then granivores also come under herbivores only. They are seed eaters. Frugivores, they eat only fruits. They are called frugivores. They also come under herbivores. Then carnivores, animals that depend on the other animals. So these are herbivores which use plants directly as their food. Now carnivores that depend on the other animals. They depend on the other animals animals for their food are carnivores. They cannot prepare their own food. Carnivores are indirectly dependent on the plants for food. Example are animals that feed on herbivores, predators. Animals that feed on the insect are insectivorous. Now here we can see, in the picture you can see it is given the ant eater. It is found in Central and South America. The bobcat or utmanzar is an ant eating animal found in India. So this picture is obtained from by the network internet. So this is the portion, it is excluded due to the COVID-19. So now we are going to see about the omnivores. Omnivores animals that obtain their food from both plants and animals are called omnivores. So we have milk, we have meat, we have eggs, and we eat vegetables also. So examples are monkey, chimpanzee, human, etc. Some of the organisms around us perform the function of cleaning and conserving the environment by the very act of feeding themselves. They are called scavengers and decomposers. See here, scavengers and decomposers, they also play the important role. So scavengers obtain their food from dead animals. Scavengers, you can see as scavengers, they obtain their food from the dead animals. Then decomposers. Decomposers are some microbes which obtain their food by decomposing the dead bodies of organism or other materials. Yes, we have seen now scavengers obtain their food from dead bodies of animals. For example, vultures and crows, you can see they eat the dead bodies of the animals. And decomposers like microbes, they help to obtain their food from decomposing of the dead bodies of organisms. So here are the other than saprozoic nutrition. It is the second type of nutrition, that is saprozoic. First one we saw holozoic. Now saprozoic. That is some insects, unicellular animals, etc. obtain the nutrients by absorbing the liquid organic material from the dead bodies of other animals. You can see here in the picture, cockroach is there, some spiders are there. So this is saprozoic nutrition. What do? The liquid organic material from the dead bodies of other animals. They have that. This saprozoic nutrition, example houseflies, ants and spiders. Okay, so what do they have in their mouth structure? They have tube-like part. Then they can suck the liquid things through it. Then here we can see downside parasites are there, worms and lice. So this is the parasitic nutrition. Some animals depend upon other animals for food. They can obtain the food only from animals on whom they are dependent. This is called parasitic nutrition. They depend on others. In this, there are two types, ectoparasitic nutrition and endoparasitic nutrition. Some animals live on the body surface of other animals and obtain their food by sucking their blood. This is called ectoparasitic. For example is, such animals are called, so what is the example? Bed bug is the best example for that, and tick. Louse. So animals like tapeworm and roundworm which live inside the body of other animals and obtain their food. These worms live in the body of a human being, also in the intestines. This is endoparasitic nutrition, and these animals are known as endoparasites. So dear friends, we have seen about the nutrition in living organism, nutrition in plants and nutrition in animals. Thank you.